Well, good evening and good afternoon to my guest. And today on the sixth Pixiecast, we're going to be talking to a friend of the group, a man who's very much involved in the group and is always there to look after the members of the group and is very passionate about the band, the Pixies. It's a great honour, and I'm delighted to say that I'm crossing right over to the west coast of America this afternoon, and we're going to be talking to Mr. Jim Stehle. Hi, Jim. How are you?
Great. How are you, Andrew?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah,
Thank you
how's
very
the
much.
wife? How's Tilly?
Tilly's fine. Yeah, Tilly is absolutely fine, doing what Tilly does best, which is sleeping. And Jordan's just in the next room watching a bit of TV. So we're all very well, thank you. And how's Kelly and Jacob? You're all keeping well?
They're doing good. All keeping well. Yep.
Excellent.
Definitely. Everything's back to normal. Kelly's back to work, and
great.
Things are good.
Good news.
So Jake's doing homeschool. He's doing independent study, so everything's on the computer.
Yeah.
He checks in once a week, which is great. That means we can travel if we want to. So we're thankful for that as well. And it's nice. It's good to have company at home.
Absolutely. And so, what is it over there? It's about what, quarter past 12 your time, so just afternoon for you. I think you're about 8 hours behind, aren't you?
Yep, just after.
Yeah.
Cool.
Excellent.
Yeah, quarter past 12.
And good to hear that things are starting to return to a little bit of normality for you then as a family after lockdown and all the problems with the COVID situation. Can you hear me?
Yeah. It definitely is. I could hear you. Our numbers are going down quite a bit as far as the virus goes. We were having here locally in our county, we were having 300 cases a day. And now we're down to 60 cases a day, 30 cases a day. So
much going in the right direction. Excellent.
So yeah, definitely. We're concerned because it's here in America, what they call Labor Day weekend.
Yes, yeah.
They celebrate, it's a 3-day weekend, and lots of people are traveling out of town and celebrating. So after the 4th of July weekend and Memorial Day weekend, cases went from 20,000 a day to 70,000 a day. Wow. In the nation.
Yeah.
So we're concerned that might happen again. So cross our fingers.
Absolutely. So whereabouts in the States are you? I know you're on the West Coast in California.
Yeah, we're in California, and we're about 90 miles east of San Francisco and 80 miles south of Sacramento. And
okay.
Fresno is about 100 miles south of us.
Right.
So.
And how far north of LA are you?
And LA is about 350 miles south of us. So when
fair ways.
We're 350 miles north of LA.
Okay.
So
fair distance.
We go there a lot. So
excellent. And
fair distance. It's 5 hours by car.
So. Okay. So if you want to go and see a band somewhere, obviously there's not a lot of that going on at the moment. But where's the nearest place that you would go to see a decent band?
Not locally.
No. Okay. So it's what, get on a plane or a long drive?
Probably Sacramento.
Okay.
It's usually about a 2-hour drive each way, so about 4 hours round trip to San Francisco and back. Normally in nighttime you get home in about an hour and a half, depending if they're doing construction. They always do construction and ruin your night. But the problem with San Francisco, there's so many .com and computer millionaires that they've outpriced the city. Concert tickets there cost anywhere from $30 to $50 more per ticket, and then plus parking can cost upwards of $60 to park.
Sure.
So I like going to Sacramento better. They're normally smaller clubs, and the ticket prices are a lot lower.
Uh-huh.
So,
Yeah.
but
So your love of Pixies then,
yeah.
where did that all begin?
Uh, well, it began with Frank Black. Um,
Okay.
you, basically, I was a washed up. I grew up my mom always went out all the time, and she left us with these babysitters, these teenage babysitters. And so I got into all these Kiss records and Rush albums and old Scorpions albums, all these metal bands.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I grew up, listening to all that stuff. Plus my dad and mom, they, raised me on, Queen and
Okay.
Bob Seger and all these other, old time rock and roll bands.
Sure.
And my dad was a musician as well.
Uh-huh.
So music was always around. But
Yeah.
I saw Frank Black do in Los Angeles um, on a late night video channel.
Uh-huh.
And the next morning, I went out to a record store, and it was a used record store, and I found the copy of the first Frank Black album, and they had it behind the counter in a CD sleeve, and the case was hanging from a fishing line from the ceiling, and I made them get up there and cut it down. They didn't want to, but they got up there and cut it down. I still own that CD to this day,
Wow.
and that album changed my life. I from that point forward, I started chasing Frank Black,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
just started going to his shows. And I joined the street team, started putting up all his show flyers, and working for his management team would send me
Well,
flyers and
okay.
copies of the CDs, and I would go out in Sacramento and San Jose and post them on the telephone poles,
Yeah, yeah.
and
So you very
do all
quickly
that crap
became a
just
big
for Frank.
fan. Yeah, brilliant. So then
Big fan,
obviously
big fan.
you
And
so
then
then after yeah, carry on.
Trompe le Monde was given to me by my bass player at the time, and I fell in with, the first song I heard was Planet of Sound, and it it just blew me away.
Yeah, yeah.
Alec Eiffel, oh my God, they all just blew me away. Subculture, that album's just amazing. They just it's incredible. It's just incredible. So,
So it started with
but
Frank Black in his
I was
solo
hooked.
career.
I was hooked.
Yeah. So it started with Frank
Yeah,
Black in his solo career, and so
definitely.
then you went back in time and picked up on the Pixies before the breakup.
Yep. And then the reunion came out, and so I obsessively started following them on the reunion tour, and spending all my money because it was sold out. And so I got lucky a first couple times and got tickets, but the more popular the tour got, the harder the tickets were to get. So I was spending all this crazy money on eBay, and
Wow.
this was before Ticketmaster used to sell the tickets back to you.
Uh-huh.
So I was buying tickets from the Midwest from all these scalpers, and
Wow.
it was nuts, but it was cool. All
Yeah.
my kids have been. I got four boys, so four
Okay.
boys. They've all been to see the Pixies, so um,
Cool.
with me numerous times, and Frank Black, except for Jake hasn't seen Frank Black, but
Yeah.
yeah,
And I know on your Facebook profile and under your name, it's got Pixies for life. So they really are a big part of your life, aren't they?
yeah, definitely a big part of my life. In the last this September, well, this October will be 4 years. In the last 4 years, I've seen them 15 times.
Wow.
So, it, yeah,
Yeah.
that's just since Head Carrier came out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, um, and that's in like three different states and 2 different countries.
Yeah, of course.
So,
We had the pleasure of meeting you last year as well when you came over
yeah,
to
we got
Plymouth.
to enjoy a show together.
Yeah,
Yes, it
yeah,
was
in
amazing.
Plymouth. It was
Yeah,
great.
it
Yeah,
was a great show.
it was a great show, and we were right down
Yeah,
the front as well, weren't we? Which was
we
good.
were.
And so I'm going to ask you that difficult question now. Can you pick out one track, one Pixies track that is your favorite?
Pixies track. Uh, this is a tough one. It's
It's
actually
very
not
tough.
one track. It's 2 tracks combined together,
Okay.
and that are back to back, and it's on
Uh-huh.
Trump. And that would be Subbacultcha
Uh-huh.
and times equals radius sun, or
Yeah,
however you
yeah, yeah,
say that.
yeah.
Because when Subculture ends with that abrupt ending, and then he
It
goes, "I
segues.
had me a vision."
Yeah, segues
Uh,
straight in, doesn't it?
yes, and to hear that live, like the anniversary tour of that album, to hear that live back to back to
Yeah,
back
yeah.
would be my ultimate Pixies dream.
Okay.
That would be my ultimate Pixies dream right there.
Brilliant. Well, I don't have any hard rules on this, so I'll let you get away with that one, having picking 2 tracks. So, that was a good plan that you made there. So,
Right.
yeah. So, and a favorite album of theirs?
Favorite album. Well, Trompe le Monde's my favorite album, period. But with a hard second place, growing on me daily, the new album, Beneath the Eyrie,
Beneath the Earring, yeah.
it has a special place in my heart, because it came out the day I landed in London, and I got to download it as soon as we landed at 6 o'clock in the morning, and I listened to it the whole time, a few days prior to Plymouth, and then the whole time I was in Scotland, I listened to it. I stayed home a day while they all did sightseeing, and just listened to the album nonstop. I brought a speaker with me,
Yeah, yeah.
and plus I had my headphones. It didn't matter. I was constantly listening to it. And Jacob learned the album and knew the lyrics, and you know, so everybody was singing the songs, and it's just it's cool. And since this is friends group, I'll just say it. Violet broke his heart. God darn it. So it really comes out in that album, and
yeah.
So you know, she left him for a saxophone player.
That's never a good thing to be left for, is it? For a saxophone player?
No, he left Black Francis for a saxophone player.
Dear, oh dear. Never mind. Never mind.
It's so controversial now.
That's fine. I'm sure you're not going to upset anyone. It's not like the Kim Deal and Paz debate, is it? So I don't think you'll be upsetting anyone too much. So.
Hey, I love the Last Breeders album.
Yeah,
I think it was great.
uh-huh.
But I've seen Paz 15 times in the last 4 years, basically, and she's unbelievable. She's amazing. She is a Pixies. She's part of the band, and that's the way it is. She's awesome. She's great with the fans. She always bends over backwards for fans. I watched her in San Francisco in December outside, signing autographs and bending over backwards, and she was just trying to get out of there,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a really
amazing.
good feel, isn't there, amongst the whole band, and they obviously do. They love their fans, don't they? They look after them, and they interact with them as much as they can.
And they're not stuck up. I mean, we seen in Reno last April. Charles just walks right through the casino.
Yeah.
Like it's not a big deal. He doesn't care. He just got done playing, and they're the only band. Well, I think alcohol has a big factor when it comes to the band Modest Mouse, but Modest Mouse I've seen Modest Mouse like 8 times, and they've gotten better every time I've seen them. But the Pixies, the Pixies seem to get better and better and better every time I see them. There's never a bad show, and it seems like he gets angrier. The more angrier he gets, the better the show gets.
Yeah.
And it just, it's like I want to see him pissed off. I don't know why, but because he's going to scream at me more.
Well, I guess, I mean, obviously a lot of times the older people get, the angrier they get.
Yeah, I don't. It's like I don't do drugs anymore, so it's like it's if Black Francis comes scream at me for about an hour a day, I'd be happy.
I'm sure. Like I say, as he gets older, he'll get angrier. So you're in for some real treats as the years go by with more shows, hopefully.
Yeah, I hope so.
And you've got your own band, I believe, don't you? You play drums a bit.
Yes, the band has taken a break because of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
The last 4 months, my brother and I he's been helping me build a recording studio in my house. Oh, wow. And so we've been teaching ourselves how to record.
Cool.
And how to learn how to operate all this fancy equipment. So we're right at the point where we're going to start creating music now. He just ordered a brand new digital mixing board,
mm-hmm.
which I don't know if we really need it or not, but he ordered it. So we're waiting for it to arrive. But as soon as it arrives, we're going to plug it in and start playing music. But my drums are all plugged in and dialed in. I have them all on the mixing board. Each drum has its own channel, all its own effects. I have all kinds of programs dialed in. It's all perfect right now.
So you're doing it all properly then?
But all properly, yes, very much so.
Yeah. And what's the name of the band for those who don't know?
Our band is called Council of Paris.
Sure. So, and you're on Instagram, I think, aren't you? You post on Instagram.
Yeah. On Instagram, yeah.
And do you write any of your new material, or is it all just covers and that you do?
No, it's all original. That's why you guys don't hear anything, because we're so picky.
Okay. So no Pixies covers then?
No, we've been asked to do them, and I've told people that I would do them, but I don't want to mess with perfection.
I thought you would say that.
Pixies perfection.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's understandable.
So, although I did see Hey Pixies a couple Septembers ago in Manchester, and they are quite incredible, especially with Mike Flynn on vocals.
I think anything's incredible when Mike Flynn's involved, isn't it?
Yes, very much so. Very much so.
Unfortunately, I missed him on that trip, but I hope to meet him some stage. So,
yeah.
He's building a house at the moment, I believe. So
incredible people.
Yeah. He's building a house at the moment. I asked him if he would come on, but he said he's a bit busy at the moment building his new house. So I'm hoping I'll get him on in a few weeks' time. Yeah. So anyway, back to the music. So it all started with Frank Black in his solo career. So I'm going to ask you now for a favorite track from his solo career, if you're able to give me one.
I could give you all kinds of them. I would probably say, oh man, I got to get the song right, or I'm going to be a terrible fan. That song called, oh man, I'm going to screw it up. I can't think of it. It's on Honeycomb.
Okay.
Crap. What's that called? Oh, Sing for Joy. Sing for Joy.
Sing for Joy.
Yes, it's on Honeycomb.
Yeah.
That's probably one of my favorite Frank Black songs.
Okay.
And then as far as the Frank Blackman Catholic song goes, I also like, oh geez, there's so many Frank Blackman Catholic songs. I like All My Ghost. Kelly and I both love All My Ghost.
Okay. I like that one.
Off
That's
the
a good
first
one.
Catholics album. They're great. See, Kelly's a big Frank Black fan too, because I dragged her to so many shows.
Yeah. Well, maybe she'll come on one day and have a chat with me as well. That would be good.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's
nice.
a really interesting person.
She's a lovely lady. She's a lovely lady as well. So yeah, you the pair of you looked after us very well when we came and saw you in your hotel on prior to the gig in Plymouth. So yeah, I'd love to see.
That's what we do for Pixie shows.
I know. No, you're lovely people, and we're lucky that you're part of the family. So thank you for that.
Well,
so
glad to have you guys.
So Council of Paris, then you just carry on. And how long have you been doing that as a group?
It would have been, holy moly. Honestly, and this is going to make me fall asleep with exhaustion, but it's been 3 years.
Okay.
3 years, July.
Yeah.
We've had a terrible track record. I can say this because it's friends group and my band's not going to see it.
Okay.
But we've had a terrible track record of lead guitar players.
Right.
Our first lead guitar player, none of us would drink or do drugs. There'd be a little marijuana use, but there was no hardcore drugs or alcohol at band practice during writing sessions. But he would always.
I can still hear you. There we go.
I'm back. I got a phone call. It's okay.
That's fine.
But anyway, he ended up using heroin and and really falling off the wagon. And then we had another guitar player who wouldn't show up to practice because he wanted to be a professional soccer player.
Okay.
And then this is all after we lost our whiz kid guitarist. We had a whiz kid guitar player and keyboard player, but he moved for a job and then disappeared off the planet. We don't know where he went, so we're really worried about him.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And then we got another guitar player who our bass player showed up to practice before he did and said, "Hey, have you did a background check on this guy?" We said, "No, why?" Well, apparently he was driving home from work and he pulled over and stabbed the guy to death. He'd been playing guitar with us for like 3 months.
Jeez. Wow. You are a proper rock and roll band, aren't you?
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Okay.
So now my brother plays guitar for us, and he has no criminal record.
You know you're safe with him. Wow.
So,
I wasn't expecting you to tell me that. Okay, so you're building your studio and obviously putting a lot of time and effort, and I dare say a bit of money into that, and you're hoping to get everyone together again and start practicing. Can you hear me there, James?
it's weird.
There we go. Back again.
I don't know what happened.
No, that's okay. Don't worry.
I got up and walked down the hall and signal changed. And
that's okay.
That shouldn't happen. Anyway,
you're back again.
Yeah, I was going to try to show you my drums in here.
Oh, cool.
Here's my drum kit.
That's a nice set. Lovely.
Yeah, I've always wanted something like this, and I finally got it. And I just got new keyboards in the background. Yeah. So this is what I do.
And is Dave Lovering one of your drumming heroes?
Actually, he is. I think he's quite amazing. I I feel I'll start some topic of debate in the group, but I don't know how much longer he can do it. To tell you the truth,
Okay.
I've seen him. The last time I seen him in December, he was struggling quite a bit.
Really?
And, but it was right after the big tour over in Europe, and I mean, how many dates did they do over there? Something like 25, 30 dates
Yeah.
or more.
Yeah. And that's a
You
lot of
know,
traveling as well, obviously.
yeah, a lot of traveling, but he was. I can't remember which song it was they were trying to go into, one of the super fast ones, and they couldn't even go into it. They completely collapsed it
Right.
and gave up. And
Right.
it looked like they were all in a bad mood. And Charles turned around to Dave like, "What the hell? Can't you do that for?"
Mm.
And he looked at him like, "My back can't do it. I
Right.
can't do
Okay.
it." So, but
And is
I
that
I
something that
honestly, oh,
happens with drummers a lot? Would you say?
oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Right. My back, my whole body shot. I just got off the phone with my doctor. Um, she was asking me about my foot and my knee, and she she asked me about my drumming. Uh, I said, "Yep, my ankle hurts. It's all from drumming." So, but
Wow.
for a guy like that, he's a monster of a drummer. I mean, he plays beats. I just dream about playing beats like he plays. I can't imagine.
Uh-huh.
It's it's insane, man. He's the best punk rock drummer I've ever seen in my life.
You'd have thought
He's
sitting down all the time it
unbelievable.
would
The
be
time
easy, wouldn't you?
signatures he plays is just unheard of.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah.
what other drumming heroes do you have?
If you were the Pixies, I mean,
Yeah.
well, I like Neil Peart, of course, at Rush, but he's a whole different monster. But I I like um, Dave Grohl, of course, from Foo Fighters and Nirvana.
Hmm.
Uh, uh, he did a lot of drumming for Foo Fighters and
Yeah.
some great drumming. Taylor Hawkins, also a great drummer.
Hmm.
Um, Steve Perkins from Jane's Addiction. I went to a bunch of courses and took lessons from him when he was doing courses way back before they really got popular, and he was still trying to make money on the side. He's an incredible drummer, really rhythmic drummer. Uh, there's so many drummers. Uh, can't even think of any right off top. Chad Smith from Chili Peppers.
Yeah.
He's a great
Yeah.
drummer.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Well, you given
practice a lot in Chili Peppers.
okay.
So
Well, you've given us a
yeah,
fair few there, so about half a dozen. So that's a,
yeah.
that's a good shout considering I've just thrown that question at you. So you obviously know your drummers well. So what did you think about Beneath the Eyrie when it came out? Then you said that you downloaded it as soon as you got to London. It's a very different album, isn't it, compared to any of the others, really?
I think it's the most Frank Black Pixies album that there is. Um,
Okay.
be I could definitely hear Birds of Prey being on the Frank Black album.
Hmm.
Uh, what's the other one? Birds of Prey. I can't think of it. There's another one on there. There's there's quite a few that remind me of a Frank Black album. Uh, it was because it was so personal, I think,
Yeah.
and I think the whole album's really good. I mean, ultimately, I wish they would have. The demos are cool and everything. I like them, but I wish they would have finished them. They just made it a double album or released them later
Mhm.
as a surprise. But I wish they would have mastered them better and got a cleaner sound out of them. But I'm just picky.
And you're looking forward to them getting back in the studio?
You know, I don't think so. I'm not in a rush to get them back in the studio. I'd like to see them. I'd like to see them play some gigs when the time is right, if the time is ever right. If things don't get right with this soon, it'd be nice if they got together and were working together instead of just staying at home doing nothing. That would be nice.
Yeah.
But I mean, they work hard, man. They really work hard. I mean, they were gonna be busy all summer and then tour again in October, November in the States. So
yeah. They really do treat it like a full-time job, don't they?
Oh, it is a full-time job.
Yeah.
It really is. You know, it's amazing. I want to know what member of Charles's family needed a lung, though, because he said he would never get back together with the Pixies unless somebody needed a body part or something.
Okay. So, I hadn't heard that story before. So. Well, hopefully they got whatever they needed. So Frank Black and the Catholics, are you a fan of that body of work of his as well?
I am. I've seen him. I've seen him well over the 30-time mark.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So.
And a favorite album from that era?
I would say probably out of the Catholics albums, probably like Black Letter Days or probably Black Letter Days is a pretty good album.
Okay.
I always get Black Letter Days and Devil's Workshop mixed up because they came out at the same time.
Well, Kate Hester yesterday when I spoke to Kate, she chose a track off Black Letter Days. Actually, she chose Black Letter Day, so as her favorite Frank Black and the Catholics track. So, are you able to choose a favorite Catholics track?
Catholics track. It's got to be All My Ghost.
All My Ghost.
Because of my connection with Kelly.
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
Definitely.
You did say that earlier on. I was just checking to make sure you stuck with that. Okay. And that's That's Kelly's favorite as well, is it?
Yeah, she likes that a lot. Yeah. So.
And what do you think the future of the band is? I mean, as you said, obviously, Charles is well, he's not an old man, but he's well into his 50s, isn't he? And Joey is as well, and Dave Lovering. They're all in their 50s. I know Paz is a bit younger than them, but do you think they can keep up this immense amount of work that they do, with all the touring and the recording? And
I don't know if it's quite fair of the industry to work and enslave musicians the way they do. I mean, Ticketmaster and other ticket agencies would get out of the way and quit scalping tickets. Then the artists could get their fair share of the money in the first place. And the bands like Metallica wouldn't work with Ticketmaster to raise prices of scalp tickets in the first place. And these artists, they might get their fair share of the money in the first place, and they wouldn't have to go book 180 days a year, or more on the road in order to make a living, and then not to mention how much tax they have to pay or immigration status they have to pay. There's so many loopholes that they're pushing them through. And California is trying to make it difficult for artists to work. They threw them into the Uber type of employment.
Right.
and where they're going to have to start paying for all kinds of stuff. It's a crazy
Yeah,
nutty thing.
there's always plenty
But
of other people trying to make money, isn't there, off the back of someone else?
always,
In the music
always,
industry, especially, yeah.
yeah. It's a shame because there's there's so many artists that deserve to be heard, you know, but they're never going to be heard because you know they're stuck they're stuck in their bedroom. My friends just released an album a couple days ago. I think it sounds incredible. There's some really good songs on there, but it's it's never going to be heard by the masses.
No.
And uh, but then the bands we support, you know, why they have to go out there and work so hard is beyond me. I mean, I I can't see them churning out stadium, doing the back-to-back nights like they've been doing,
No.
where they're touring with Weezer one night, and the next night they're doing a headline show. The next night they're doing another Weezer show. Uh, I mean, I don't know how they can keep up with that.
But that's where the money is, though, isn't it? These days,
it's all about money.
Yeah, and that's where the money is in the music industry, because there's no money in record sales and that now, because it's so easy to download stuff off the internet. So, unless they tour, then bands just aren't making any money.
Exactly. I feel like I'm the only person. I know I'm not, but I feel like I am. I've always paid for my music.
Yeah.
I never took it off the internet for free. I've always paid. I pay for all my subscriptions.
Yeah.
All the iTunes I paid for. It's crazy, and it's all that shit's worthless now.
Yeah. But even when even paying for those kind of subscriptions like Spotify and things like that, it's very, very little amount of that money actually gets to the artist.
Oh, it's pennies on the dollar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is crazy. Why should these corporations be making money?
Yeah.
They shouldn't be. We could spend an hour talking about that.
That's a whole nother conversation, isn't it? Yes. But anyway, Jim, it's been
the man.
Jim, it's been great speaking to you. It's been great speaking to you.
Too.
Thank you for giving up some of your time. Say hi to Jacob for me and send my love to Kelly, won't you?
Yeah. Hi to Jordan and Tilly for me.
Thank you. And hopefully we'll see you again sometime, either over here or we'll come over and see you.
Well, we hope to get back there soon. We'd be there now if we could.
I know you would, mate. Okay.
All right.
You take care. Good to see you. All the best.
Goodbye.
Bye.